Welcome to Automating Success. I'm your host, Joe Langton. This is my daughter and co-host, Julia Langton.
Yep, that's me.
And today, this is our second podcast now, and we get to interview Julia. And Julia says to me today, "Are you sure we can't interview somebody else?" I say, "Yeah, there's this guest list of people waiting just to come and do this today." So anyways, we're hoping this will be entertaining. I kind of wished we were recording the whole beginning of this, talking about how this interview was going to go. But, we should have a lot to talk about. Anybody that's around Julia and I know we're quite an interesting duo. We stand the same. We typically do little things that make people really realize that we are definitely father-daughter.
Wow, that's a lot. We stand the same. That's it. That's all we got. That's all you listed.
We have more. I just,
that's all you listed.
I just feel like that's, what else do we have then?
Dude,
come on, big talker.
You said it, not me. Right. Except we're the same.
Yeah, we are. But we look different. But we're the same. So, all right. So the thing that I want to say, that I want to tell you to make sure is that I hear from so many people that there's the Julia Langton that I know, how she acts around dad. And then the Julia Langton. Did you see something just like fell? I swear to God, I hope it wasn't a spider. I'm seriously. Maybe this is going to make for good podcast recording.
Hey, I told you this is a one take only, so don't mess it up.
If a tarantula starts crawling on me during this, doesn't need some crazy shit. Anyways, all right, let's get back. I got to get back on track here. It's been a long Monday. So I want the Julia that apparently the friends know and the other, 19 to 20 some year old kids know, because that's really the Julia that I want to learn about, and I'm sure our audience is going to want to learn about.
I'm telling you, I'm the same all the way around.
Well, then good. We'll see. So Jules, tell me some background on yourself, the way you see it, and you can talk to the audience a little bit about family and faith, things you like to do in your spare time.
Okay. Well, I'm 19. I'm an only child, but I have, 4 stepbrothers and a stepsister. So that's a lot. This is hard. This is hard when it's on you. I played volleyball. I go to MCC right now, studying business management. This is way harder when it's you. Let me tell you that, because I feel like I just gave a whole background. And it was about 10 seconds.
Well, this is so what's cool about this is the first podcast we did, I got to do what I do a lot, and I got to talk about myself, because at the end of the day, as business owners, a lot of times we're selling ourselves. People buy product and services, but at the end of the day, they want to buy from somebody that they trust. So a lot of times, I think any business owner knows we're selling ourselves. But this is good for me too. It puts me on the spot, because a lot of people that haven't produced a podcast themselves, you realize when you start to do it that you have to step outside of your comfort zone. So it's up to me to get us the time, and I have to draw the stuff out. So you said you played volleyball. What position did you play? I know as your dad, you played several positions, but let's talk about that, because I think there's more you can elaborate on.
Okay. I played as an outside, a middle hitter, and a right side. My favorite would probably be an outside. Middle, definitely the worst position you can ever play ever in the world. It was terrible. I didn't enjoy it, but it got me super fit. Right side was also not that fun, but I did it. That's it. I played those 3. I didn't like passing, so don't put me back there. I can't do it. Well, I can do it. I just don't enjoy it. That's it. That's what I got.
Okay.
That's what I played.
So I can tell you.
I do play with him now in a league. I carry the team. I am better, even though I'm 5'8", 5'9" on a good day, and he's 6'4", and I still hit better on a men's net.
That's a straight up lie.
Listen, I might be talking smack. Actually, see though, in the league I set, and I didn't do that regularly, but I think I'm fine at that too.
Setting. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm fine
at that. I
told
you should have set in high school, and that when it might have been different for you, but.
Well, I didn't want to do that either.
Yep.
So, but I can set you, and I carry.
So basically what she's saying is she never listens to me. unless I pay her to listen to me, and then she listens. But
if you want to put it that way.
Yeah. I mean, when it came down to volleyball, if I made suggestions, she kind of looked at me like, yeah, Dad.
Setting's not fun though. I don't really typically enjoy it that much because when I'm not doing well, it's not fun, but that's the same with hitting, I guess. So either way. Yeah.
So I feel it's important for people to know that, Julia does not hit better than me on the nights that we're hitting. But I will tell you, what I will say,
okay,
on a women's net playing club volleyball, it was the most fun I've ever had in my life watching my daughter play. And yes, you would crush the ball.
See, and
I will say that I miss it, and it'll be a memory for me forever.
Here, let's bring up what I am better at, even on the high net. Do you know it?
Well, there's actually several things. First of all, she's much more composed than I am. Apparently, I should wear a bag over my face because I look too angry, and Julia always has to remind me to smile because.
Okay, I do, but that's not what I was thinking.
I bring the team down. You probably pass better than I do.
Okay, also not what I was thinking. See, now I'm just making him list off all the things I'm better at, but it's still not the one I was going for.
Well, unfortunately, the list was not as long as you might think it was.
Blocking. I'm a better blocker.
Julia is a better blocker than me. Now, would you like to explain why you're a better blocker?
Because you're going to say you jump too high and then it hits your forehead or something. But that's not it. His form is bad. It's terrible.
Well,
he blocks with his arms like a field goal just for the ball to go right through him. And then when he does hit the ball, he gorilla bats it to the other court.
I'm a large man, and I think we have to set a scene here. I am a football player at heart that became a volleyball player. So yes, sometimes my form is lacking. I am a Hulk crush ball guy, and I do it in a weird way.
That it's Hulk smash.
Hulk smash, but I'm talking about volleyball.
Yeah, but all right.
Anyways, the point is that I'm trying to make.
Well, the point is. We see, he can't block. He cannot pass. I'm a better setter. I'm more composed. And he is a better hitter. So that's 4-to-1 ratio.
I think I'm a better server.
I didn't say I was a better server. 4-to-2.
Okay.
I'm still better.
I actually think I'm pretty decent at passing. I have to say.
I think you're decent, but I think I'm better.
All right, we're going to move on. We're going to agree to disagree.
He's getting heated.
I feel like I'm getting red. People that are listening on the radio, you can't see it, but if you're watching on YouTube, I'm getting a little heated here. But that's okay.
Dad, I didn't mean it, okay? I meant some of it.
Actually, you did mean it. You're probably right on most of it, but that's okay. But
hey, the hitting.
Let's remember, football was my sport. Football was my sport. So anyways, all right. So you talked a little about family, recreation. You kind of skip past the faith, and that's probably my fault, because, so anyways, though, so we're moving past that. So, so your upbringing, you want to talk a little bit about that, just kind of any key moments in your life getting brought up, first job.
Okay. Well, my first job will be here, really.
Yeah.
But Mom always gives me a hard time, actually quite frequently. And she goes, you have literally never had to apply to any job ever. You have literally never experienced having to go through an interview. And she's right. But I'm happy for that because I don't want to do that. But this would be my first job. I started as, let's see. Well, see, I remember way back in the day, I don't even know how old I was. And it was when the nursery was still popping. And you had the pond with the little deck thing.
Yeah,
you know what I'm talking about?
Yep, I forgot we demoed that. But
okay.
I do. We have LS tractors parked there now, by the way.
Okay, so it was way back when, and I think you told me, it had to be you. I was young. You told me you'd pay me $2 an hour. I don't know how I remember this so well. I was young.
So she was really young, so I don't want any labor law things getting looked up right now.
No, it was just,
I'm a little
it was just for fun. No.
Okay, $2 an hour.
$2 an hour to water the trees, and Grandma was with me.
Okay.
And I was watering the trees, doing my thing, and then I guess I got to a point where I didn't want to water those trees anymore, so Grandma watered the trees for me. I'd say that was my first job.
I don't even remember this, and I'm embarrassed that I want to dispute the $2 an hour.
Maybe it wasn't. Maybe that's my young mind. But okay, he gave me set amount of money to water the trees. And long story short, I had good old Granny, the OG gangsta, water the trees for me, and I just ran around, I think.
That's a typical mom thing to do, is do the work and let the kid take the credit for it. But I'll have to talk to my mom about that. I could see her doing that.
She definitely did it. She probably won't remember. I don't even know why I remember. It's like the one memory I have being young, watering those.
Yeah.
That was it. Then I worked in the office back there, entering invoices in QuickBooks.
That's right. You did. You did a good job doing that.
I did a great job, but it wasn't fun. Still don't enjoy it. I wouldn't enjoy that. Actually, it wasn't that bad, but I went from doing that to then AOS, I guess.
Yeah.
That was like the climb up.
Yep. So do you remember driving to volleyball and me trying to tell you to make decisions while we were driving?
Yeah.
Yeah. How'd you feel about that?
I didn't feel good about it in the moment.
What'd you used to tell me all the time?
I said, Dad, I'm not you. And now that I get older, I think I am actually you a little bit, but I still make less decisions. Yeah.
But is it fair to say that yet again, I was right? I knew.
Listen, you didn't have, if I had known you were going there with that statement, I would have just disagreed from the get-go.
So that's what's awesome, because as the person doing the interview, I led you right into that direction.
All right.
This is journalism at its best right there.
He has potential to be right sometimes.
Yes.
And in this instance, he was. In plenty others, he's probably not usually. So.
We'll skip past all those.
That's the deeds. That's the drama.
So why don't we tell the audience about that first day that you really realized that you were an entrepreneur at 19?
Oh, man.
Doing the franchise documents?
Oh.
I see this was not as memorable as I thought it was going to be.
Well, do you mean getting the franchise set up or signing them?
Well.
Now signing that, okay, getting the franchise set up had to be the hardest day of work in my life that I didn't even clock in for. Like, I didn't, because I, A, didn't think it'd be like that. B, I didn't think it'd be that long. C, I mean, I really didn't care to clock in. But I was like, wow, this is like, I got out of that meeting and I was so drained. I was like, that didn't even make sense to me. And I didn't even do the talking. It was him. So definitely it wasn't that day.
So here, let's set the scene, because this is actually a good talking point for automating success. So anybody that's following us, they know that we are aiming to be one of the innovators and one of the largest dealers and distributors of automated outdoor equipment. That being said, we're also working on starting a franchise called AOS Franchising. And the goal is to take landscapers and basically help convert their books of business together as a partnership, basically. So anyways, I take Julia to this, and I don't think she realized, I will say I don't think we both realized what we were getting in for. You know, you go to the attorney and they close you in the room and basically say, we're going to write these franchise documents and we're going to order food, and it's like we're just not leaving until it's done.
A list of 100 and so questions just back to back that he had typed out. Yeah. And because we met with him before, and I was like, this is awesome. I want to go to this meeting. I don't even think you were like, do you want to go? Like, I said, I want to be there. That was so exciting. Then I was there and I was like, wow, this is not what I expected.
So now here's the thing. I was, as Julia was talking, she said that she was there for a long time and didn't get to clock in. And I think that is literally what I kind of led her into. The first eye opener for her as a business owner, right? So as business owners, we do things every day that we don't get to clock in for. Most people, when they have jobs, they're used to being on the clock, clocked in, and what am I going to get paid for? And that's definitely not something entrepreneurs get to do. We spend a lot of time on the hope that we're going to make money from something, or the hope that we're going to change an industry or change the world. That's just the way we think, right? So that was, in my opinion, one of your first eye openers. And secondly, when the attorney asked where I wanted to list Julia, and I said, well, she's COO, and
that was a big
she's going to have
I'll admit that was
ownership
a big
of this. That was kind of a surprise, I think, for her, right?
That was a surprise,
because I kind of kept that with me. This kind
of
and
I didn't expect anything of that either.
Yeah, Yeah. But the thing about it is it's important to say, because this podcast is going to start to get into, father, daughter, father, son, like type businesses where, there's going to be a secession type, takeover. And to me, the decision was easy because you're there, not clocked in. You're sitting there, sitting in a room where most 19-year-olds wouldn't ever volunteer to do. And that's where, for me, as a father and a mentor, the decision becomes easy, right? We have stepkids or stepsons that would not have volunteered to go sit in that room without getting paid and put in their input. So these are the things that separate people. And if you're going to listen to this podcast and wonder what people like myself look for, we look for the person that volunteers their time, because we're volunteering our time constantly. And quite honestly, there's a lot of people I'll listen to or I'll get asked as a mentor. Sometimes people feel like they're getting passed up or opportunities are passing them by. And this is kind of a good plug for me to say that if you feel like opportunities are passing, it's because you're not putting in the free time, the time that opportunists put in. Like I see myself as someone that sees opportunity, jumps on that opportunity without any knowledge whether or not that's going to pay out. But you take the opportunity and you try to put your touch on it, and then you hope for the best. So that's number one. Then secondly, you started to say it when those documents showed up. How exciting was that?
That was exciting. Well, because I signed for you and John to get this, whatever it was for. I had to practice my signature because it was really official. And now let me say, I think I have an amazing signature. I think it looks nice. I actually, in my camera roll, I took a picture of the documents that I signed because that was a big moment. But there's like this one day, it was for a crown commitment, actually. It's super random. And I had like this really nice pen, signed my signature, and I was like, wow, that looks good. So I took a picture of it just to keep it.
Get used to it because you do a lot of signing as a business.
No, but I already have a good signature. But for these documents, I did 10 warm-up signatures before I signed the documents. So that was a big day. That was exciting.
Yeah, so kind of cool.
So that'd be it.
Right.
That's a day.
All right. So tell us kind of about a day as Julia Langton, like as it is right now, because I don't think people see what I see. Okay. Like I know how busy you are, to the point where sometimes I actually feel, I don't know if I feel I'm proud sometimes. And sometimes I almost feel bad because, we kind of have that like watch what you wish for thing, right? So, back in my union electrician days, I worked from 7 till 3:30. I got home at 3:30 and thought, okay, what am I going to do now? And now our days go from 7 in the morning until 9 o'clock at night sometimes, So I see that's already happening for you. And I think, wow, Julia's only 19 and she already has that type of life. So explain, kind of tell some people that the hustle of Julia.
Well, I feel like even in my head, I won't think it's that much. I mean, I wake up. Well, it depends. Either I wake up and I come here to get the guys going, or I lay out everything that they have and then I get woken up to questions. So either way, I'm up, getting them going, answering their questions. I come in. And then I do a lot of paperwork. I mean, I'd say the thing that makes us work is we're very similar, but there's like small differences. Like this guy, if you give him any paperwork to do, it's a meltdown. It's not even he's just very, what's the word? Triggered? Not triggered. A short temper? No. These are.
What is happening right now?
I asked what the word was. Like, okay, here. He's doing some financing. All is going well. He gets it done. He just has to print it. But it won't print to the right printer, probably because I messed with his print. I didn't mess with him. But he doesn't have the right printer, but he won't look at the printer. So then it won't print. And then that's when he's throwing hands at the printer. But he already did the hard work of the financing. So the financing, he just gets worked up.
Okay. So let me explain this a little bit.
Well,
I had no idea my daughter was going to call me out so many times. So
you called me out.
I don't know. All right. So
wait, this is the Julia Langton. Everyone else knows.
Actually, yeah. I don't need to be talking about me right now. Let's keep going. Let's get back on track.
But okay, here. I don't even mean that you get short temper. I mean here. So back to my day in the life. He does the stuff out in the field, the selling and stuff. And then it's like, here, map this, get together whatever you need to get. I do all the back end paperwork that he would hate to do, but he does the field work selling that I would hate to do. So it kind of balances in that way.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, really mine's just a lot of paperwork, phone calls, a lot of phone calls from the same people. Like you get a lot of phone calls, but it's like diverse. Mine's not. What else? I mean, I used to fix auto mowers. I guess I should have put that in where I really started.
Yeah.
I used to do all the warranty and open the mowers and fix them, which was actually fun. That was quite a fun time. And the inside of them smell like crayons.
They do smell like crayons, for real.
It's kind of exciting. Yeah. I don't know why. So I used to do that. Here and there, I'll still fix some if there's like too many, or I'll fix some trimmers.
How about when we get the auto mowers that come in that smell like really bad weed?
I hate when that happens because this
happens. Anybody that fixes auto mowers is going to be like, holy crap, it's not only us. Because I guarantee this is not only an automated outdoor thing.
Yeah. So there was this one day I worked on a mower and I fix it all up. It's looking nice. I go into the back office. And I mean, I don't do this. So I'm not one to smell like weed. Okay, this obviously.
Yep.
I walked into the back office to go say hi to this guy. And he goes, hang on a second. Come here. I'm like, yeah? He goes, you smell like weed. I'm like, okay. Thank you. And I'm like, okay, well, I was just working on an auto mower and like this and that. But then we figured out it was the auto mower that makes you smell like that. And every time I work on an auto mower, I actually do smell like that. You know what I think it is, though?
And it's not only her.
No one else
anybody that works on it.
I think it's the ceiling strips. To me, like every time I touch one of those, then I smell like weed. Anyways, no one will know what that means. But
maybe these ceiling strips are made out of hemp.
I don't know. Either way, I hate it because then my whole body, all of me smells like weed all the time. And I hate it. I hate how that smells. If anyone knows me, truly anybody, you know, I like to smell like Versace.
Versace.
All the time. Bright Crystal Absolute. That's the best one. It's pink. It's like the girliest thing I own probably. But I like to be smelling fresh all the time. So working on those auto mowers, I don't. Now, Dad, I need you to loop me back. Where was I before? Oh, a day in my life.
And we thought I was going to be the tangent master. Anyways, continue.
Listen, I told you I'm getting this in one take. I'm getting all my info out.
All right.
I mean, really, it's just like a mix of office work. It's really anything that you need me to do. I mean, scheduling. I always have to schedule for the next day. But it's really like he'll call me and be like, yo, I did this, this, and this. Can you do the back end of this, this, and this? Or can you get me this? It's really just getting everyone what they need. Just running it, I guess.
Yeah. How about school? How do you balance school with work right now?
I don't. So I let 18 assignments. I just had finals last week.
It was rough.
It was a terrible time for me. Now, I will say, I do consistently do like one or two of them here. Like, I mean, I tried to keep up a little bit, but with the whole COVID thing, they put out a lot more assignments, I'd say. And they made it so you had to be like really on top of it and submit things extra that you didn't have to do during the regular school year. So I fell behind slightly because my biggest flaw probably is procrastination. That's probably it. Okay. So I procrastinated approximately 18 assignments and tests that were all due 2 days later. So I don't balance. I enjoy work. Katie actually always makes fun of me because she enjoys school a lot, but I like work because I'm like, oh, I get paid to work. But she's like, oh, I'd rather do school. But regardless, if I have homework, I'm like, no, I'm going to stay and work late because this is way better. And then I'm not stressed for the next day rather than going home and doing something I don't even get paid for or learn anything from. So I don't balance it. That was the question. I'm really bad at it. It's a weakness of mine. A few. That's the.
So do you think part of your issue with school though is because you're ahead of? So what are you going to school for, by the way?
Business management.
And do you feel like you might be ahead of the curve in business management because you've been dealing with business through me since you were like 14 years old?
Yes and no. Yes, because I am ahead of the curve in what you actually deal with in a business. No, because what they teach doesn't even have to do with, like, I mean, some of it, I just took intro to business and like that's just a basic class. But like what you learn in that has nothing to do with like the day-to-day, everything you're doing. So it's like, it's not like I know every vocabulary term because that's all it was. It's like, what's this vocab term and this and that. So it's like, okay, maybe I'm not ahead with that, but it's also makes it feel pointless when you experience what an actual business is like. And then you go to school for something that you think will help you. And it's like, it doesn't really correlate like you thought it would. And then it feels a little bit pointless.
Yeah. So this is like, I look at business when I went to school, and I'm going to use this moment to comment on a few things. So like the printer, it does piss me off sometimes.
But I also,
and I do have to say that this is usually when I'm like trying to get something done so we can get something funded so we could go do an install at 8:00 in the morning.
Yeah.
But we need to get it financed before we leave, and it's 7:30 at night, and Synchrony closes or Sheffield closes at 8, and I need to get them the package. So
okay, can I chime in?
Just to be, no, it's not time right now.
Oh, dude.
And then that's that. Number one. Number two, I am one of my biggest reasons I think that I'm successful, and I also think it's going to be what is going to make you successful, is we're good at delegating. So what happens is at 8:00, there's nobody left for me to delegate to. Okay. So Brenda's left, Megan's left, Tony's gone. Actually, Tony sometimes is still here, Nate, but all the people that I would normally delegate to are gone. And at this point, I've delegated so many things to you, I realize I have to do it myself. So that's really what I'm pissed off. I'm probably not pissed off at the printer. I'm pissed off that I don't have somebody else to do it for me because I just did a million other things that I'm better at that I don't know why I'm printing my own documents. So, and this is something that any business owner, I'm telling you, I'm not an outlier in this. I talk to so many people and we have so many things in common. We didn't like to do our homework in school. We had a few token girls that would do our homework for us. I mean, for real, I should thank Elisa and Carly, and I can't even thank my ex-wife because she is the one person that never did my homework, but I end up marrying her anyways. It's craziness. Anyways, I think we've all been there.
Okay, so
unless you're like a CFO, and then you did your homework, But anyways, so
okay, so to touch, did I leave out a couple of details about the printer and make it seem a little worse? Yes. Did I also not mention that in his printers, I made the printer he needs to print to front
office main loser.
Office main loser, because
that's what I have to look for when I want to print to the front office.
But he doesn't know how to change it, and that's why it's funny.
No, I know how to change it. I just
then
have to
you
look
just
for that.
don't.
No, I just forget because I forget that it's on the other printer. You're right.
Well, you don't change the name of it. You know how to change the printer. You don't know how to probably change the name of what the printer is.
I'm sure I would be able to figure out how to change it.
You don't have the patience.
I just don't have the time or the patience to do it.
That's fine. I was just telling them that I am a little bit of a jokester and probably make his life a little bit more difficult.
No, you actually make it funner. I will say it's okay.
Yeah, see, okay. So now where...
Okay.
I'm worse at this.
Yeah, that's okay. So see, we're both learning because I need to do a better job keeping you on track. So who are the most important mentors in your life?
Well, I'd have to say this weirdo sitting next to me, this guy. I guess he'd be one if I had to choose.
All right, who else?
Shout out
can't just be me.
Well, it's got to be like OG. That's my grandma.
Yeah,
original
let's not call
gangster.
grandma
Granny.
Original gangster.
I know, but like she's the original granny. She cool.
Okay.
She cool. She fire. And Gramps. I'd say honestly, probably Maria a little bit. She's kind of a homie to me. So.
And what does Maria do?
Well, she's a nurse.
She's my sister, by the way. But.
She's and Vicky. I feel like really everyone. That's hard because then it'd be like. I feel like I could look up to everyone in different aspects. I feel like that's actually kind of what I do. If I meet someone, I see what they do that I like, that I want to learn from, or what I don't like that I don't want to be like. So it's really kind of everybody. But Maria, she is a true homie. She gives me a lot of advice on a lot of things, and I don't know. I feel like her family setting I like, and I kind of strive for that. Like I see how she is in her home life a lot, and I'm like, yes. So like, I don't know. I try to be like her a little bit. She's cool. She's smart. She's funny. I'm funnier. She's a homie though.
Yeah.
I got a lot of them. But, you're cool too.
So Maria, it's
one.
interesting that you're talking about Maria so much because Maria is my youngest sister. And, when you look at it, you guys are not that far apart in age.
Well, she's like 10 years older than me, I think.
Yeah. So,
but that's not bad. But we
I
vibe
actually think a lot of like how my relationship with Uncle Tony is because it's kind of same thing for me, I think your relationship with Maria is much like my relationship with Uncle Tony, So,
yeah. So she's a mentor for sure.
So outside of family, do you have any people you look up to in the business world? Any people you look up to?
I mean, no one's going to know who this person is, but Christian Guzman, he makes the brand of clothes that I like, which Alpha Elite, those are my pink pants, my green pants. Okay. It's like a workout athletic brand that I like, but he has like a ton of different businesses, but he has a YouTube channel and he vlogs a lot of what he does. So he motivates me. Like I look up to him and his drive because he's actually like, no one will know, but like he's building like this whole thing called like Alpha Land. This probably sounds really stupid to anyone else, but he just like doesn't stop and he like basically sleeps there and it's like this whole facility that he's trying to like make. And like he works with a lot of his friends too. So all the businesses come together and are coming to like this one thing, like a knock of power. That's another one. You probably don't know either, but either way, like I see his drive. Okay. I have to just say, Dad used my pen today and I just realized he broke my pen. He broke my pen.
So I don't understand how this happens. Okay. I'm going to bring this to screen. And if you're lucky enough to watch it on YouTube. So I don't know. So, every time I pick up a pen, I have this weird thing where
he's got to clip the little tab.
I always flip the little tab and I put my thumb under it like this.
I mean, this is my favorite blue gel pen.
I always snap them and I cannot help myself. It's like, I don't know why they break all the time.
Now my pen looks goofy. So anyways, Christian Guzman, he's one of them. He works out a lot. He grinds hard. I look up to that.
All right.
That's it. So, I mean, let's see. I think that about does it.
So usually in the future, I would ask if somebody could give themselves advice, go back in time, what advice they'd give. But with you, that's a hard thing to do, right? You're 19 years old. If I tell you to go back 20 years, you're not even around. So where do you see yourself in 20 years? And what I want you to think about with this question is, you should realize, and if you don't realize, I'm going to hope to help you realize that you have a massive head start in this field, being 19 years old. Where do you see yourself in 20 years? And how do you see our relationship being together, being 41 to 19, being able to influence my decisions to separate us from any of our competitors and really make us gobble up the market?
Man, that was a long question. Okay.
I'm sorry.
It's fine. Well, in 20 years, I mean, I just want to be obviously still at the top. I mean, but I think, my biggest goal with it though, is obviously we'll have the relationship that we do, but my biggest goal for myself, and I'm sure I'll achieve that before 20 years, but to not rely on you, actually. It would probably, for making decisions. Like right now, I still got to call him and be like, yo, are you good with this? Just to make sure, because I don't want to do anything he wouldn't do. And I'm still learning what are the right decisions and what will make the most profit, I guess. And when it comes to moving guys around and stuff. But my goal is to just make it where it's okay, I easily make the correct decision. I don't even have to call him or text him. And obviously I'll let you know. I'll keep you in the loop, but to not have to be like, Dad, is this fine? What should I do? I don't want to have to come. That's my biggest goal. And I think I'll achieve that before 20 years. But to me, that's my biggest thing. Obviously I want to be successful and have Like, you know what I mean? I want to be successful and stay at the top, but I don't want to.
So here, let's talk about that a little bit right now. Like right on the episode is,
sure.
It should be easy to make decisions throughout the day, because we've talked about, some of our company's values and ethics. It's listed on our website, right?
Well,
so at the end of the day, we want to be leaders and innovators in the industry. We want to do what's right by our customers. We want to make ethical decisions. We want to be honest, right? So, I'm going to tell you something that I would tell anybody, any of my people that are running things for me. And maybe for you, you make it more difficult than you have to because you're my daughter. But if you have to make a decision that you're wondering what decision I am making, the way I'm making my decision is based on, is it the right decision for our customers? The decisions that we make don't put profits first. The decisions we make put reputation first. The decisions we make put our employees on first, meaning, we don't want to make decisions that make their life more difficult because we want to attract talent. And at the end of the day, we want to make decisions that's right by the manufacturer.
Well, right.
So that's it. So now that you know that, you don't even have to call and ask me.
Well, yeah, but I feel like sometimes with scheduling, I'll be like, oh, I'm going to have so-and-so do this and this. And you're like, well, you should have them do that and that. So my goal is for it to be I tell you and you're like, oh yeah, that's a better idea than what I had.
Yes.
That's what my goal is.
But so right now for the audience, when I say, no, have them do this and this instead, is it because it's actually the better idea, or is it because I'm just used to being the guy that makes the decision? I'm interested to know myself. I'm not sure.
Well, it depends on the scenario. I think it depends. I mean, I think sometimes you feel like I forget certain things that have to get done. So you're like, well, you can't forget about this and this, but I already know later in the day where I'm going to have people go. So I feel like, well, you'll be like, oh, but I told this person this time and this, and that someone needs to be here to get that. But I am just giving you my first layer of the day. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't think it comes down to making the decisions. I think sometimes you just think you have a better idea, which you might. I'm 19, so I don't take offense to that.
I've been running people for a long time.
I don't take offense to it because that's the thing. A lot of times if I say something and you're like, well, we could do this and this instead, then when that scenario comes up later, I think back oh, what did we do for this scenario and what did he tell me and how can I change it? Or how can I change my method of thinking to match what he has already told me in the past?
Mm-hmm.
So it's not like you're doing things just to be like, oh, I have done this, so I know the answer. It's I'm still learning from you, obviously. And this is what I mean when I say I'm going to MCC for business management, but that hasn't taught me a thing. Whereas this, I'm trying to schedule people and he's like, well, we could do this and this better, or this and this instead. And then I just take that and try and do that later.
So the app that we're trying to develop, don't you think that's going to help with all that?
Well, I think the app will, but at the same time, someone's going to have to be putting it all in and making sure it all runs. I think it will, but obviously there's still going to be some thought into it. And there are so many things that just randomly pop up in the day with what we do, and resets, those throw a curve. You could get one some days you wake up with 9 and some days you wake up with 18. It depends. When we have a lot of mowers, so it's different. But if it rains really hard and or if the one day it just starts snowing out of nowhere in the middle of May, was it May? Yeah, and I was out carrying automowers in my white slip-on Vans. Those were soaked. I was upset. I was not happy about that. I'll give you that. You didn't even say anything. But okay. No, all I'm saying is there's a lot of things that just happen that you can't control. So when we have the app, yes, it'll be very helpful, but it'll still be oh, I need to reroute this person to go do this that just popped up in so-and-so place.
I think you're getting a little wound up right now.
I see.
I think we need to simmer down.
No, the issue is, because he's making faces. If you can't see it in a video, he's making faces at me what is he talking about?
Well, because you're saying stuff well, and then this happens, then that happens, and then this happens, and this and this and this. And I'm thinking the audience is thinking, what is she talking about?
Well, but that's what I'm saying. So, but because even with the app.
You have to realize the audience doesn't know all the things that happen in a day. So Like,
and I just said resets. I told, well, you got to reset an auto mower sometimes, and you got to go there and put in the code. If something happens, it gets stuck on something. There's no loop signal. There's a lot of scenarios.
And what does the robot do? It tells you what?
Okay, in words of Joe Langton, hey, human, come help.
No, in words of automated outdoor solutions.
In words of automated outdoor
hey,
solutions.
Hey, human, come help.
That's what I said, Chris. You can edit that.
See, we got to give Chris another plug today. Chris is our podcast producer. Best guy ever.
Yeah, okay, but all I'm saying is the app will help, but there's still going to be things that I'll have to make these decisions that I'd have to think, what would his decision be?
Yeah.
That's it. See, I just rambled a lot for a little bit. So
Mentor-mentee relationship.
That can get edited too.
So, all right. Let's get off work, because I feel like people are never going to want to do what we're doing. It sounds like...
No, it's really fun. It's fun.
Like you need a vacation.
It's fun.
Which honestly, the COVID is ruining everybody right now, let me tell you. So, any books or movies that have changed your life?
All right. So if anyone listened to the last podcast, and I asked him this question, and there were no books. And we did that podcast 3 times, and I asked the same question 3 times, and he still had no answer for books 3 times.
Because I hate to read.
He hates to read. Now, this is one thing we also have in common. I don't enjoy it. Mom used to have me read all the time. I used to be a reader back in the day. That was when you guys were still together, though. I could read a whole book in one day, light work, easy, cake. You give me a book now, I can't even stay focused. I can't even read the first page. I hate it. I don't enjoy it. Now, that being said, there's no books. The only book that I read, I mean, in school, I'm a pretty good kid. I do a lot of my homework. I do my homework. I do it all.
Yeah, yeah, I'm proud of you.
I do it. I don't enjoy it. I never read a book except for The Outsiders by like Truman Capote or something like that. That was pretty good. I think that was based off like a true story though, like a murder or something. That was good. But that didn't really change my life. But that's the only book I really read for school was. So no, there's no books. No books. Movies. Ratatouille.
Yes. We just had a conversation about this yesterday.
Okay, now here. So my 2 favorite movies that, okay, I gave you Ratatouille. Can you guess the other one? You probably can't. There's no way. I'll give you literally all the money in my bank account if you can guess it. All of it.
I feel like we should have some Jeopardy music playing right now. Chris, if you can edit that in too. I have no idea. So.
Dad, there's a lot on the line here. A lot of G's. Come on. What you got? Throw me something up.
Well, my favorite movie is Interstellar.
Okay, so it's not that. So he lost. He owes me all his money now.
Do you know why Interstellar is my favorite movie, though?
It makes you think of me.
It does. Yep.
I don't know if that's actually the reason, but I remember you telling me that.
Yeah.
Okay, well, my other favorite movie is The Wolf of Wall Street.
Oh, you told me this. I should have actually known that one.
Yeah, you could have had a lot of money, man.
I still could have a lot of money because I still think we have a joint checking account from when she was younger. I don't think we've changed it over.
Shoot, that is where
joke's on you, lady. So
that wouldn't be cool.
That wouldn't be cool.
So, anyways, Wolf of Wall Street. But, you know, Ratatouille, that was just, I mean, that movie, I don't even know why it's life-changing. I think it's the music in that movie that just amps me up. Wolf of Wall Street, it's about money. Well, like, not just about money, but I just like it. I like the vibes. I've watched that movie, like, 100 times. I've probably watched Ratatouille, like, 400 times. But I still remember the first day I saw that movie a long time ago when I was a small child. So, I mean, maybe it was life-changing for me, but I don't really know why.
Yeah. So what motivates you? What makes you want to be kind of like me, where you always want to be achieving like the next level of success?
Well, I'd say I know the future that I want. Like, I know one day, I mean, I say this all the time, and everyone thinks I'm really stupid for it. Not really, like, stupid. I really want a lot of cars, and I've said multiple times, I don't really care. Like, I'd rather have a ton of cars than, like, a huge mansion. I still want, like, a nice house, obviously. But I really want, like, my dream, okay, yellow house, the big yellow house because we had 2 yellow houses. That house had a really long driveway.
Yep.
Okay? And I would always picture me living in that house in the future, a house like that, with the really long driveway with just cars just lined up in that driveway. That's just all I wanted. So I'd say knowing the type of house I want, like, and all the cars, a Lamborghini, a Porsche, a Ferrari. Recently, I didn't used to want that, but I kind of do now, but it had to be blacked out. Black, not black. So I'd say like that. A lot of cars.
So by the way, I don't think she's stupid for this because we share the same disease when it comes to vehicles.
I mean, like, but I want a Jeep. I want a Mustang. I want literally every type of sports car. And then some Jeeps that all are fun. I want it, like, I just want all that. I just want, I don't know. There's a lot of things I want.
All right.
And I need the money for it. So I got to grind hard.
So it'll be interesting to see as time goes on to look back on this podcast and
I mean,
10 years from now to see what's changed about that.
We'll see. I think I'll have all the cars? Probably not. But I would like to have like at least 3.
Yeah. So what's your top 3 wish list right now?
A Porsche, Miami Blue.
A Porsche what?
A GT3 RS.
Yeah.
Except though, you know what is I want the GT3 RS, but in all Miami Blue, they have like the black decals on them.
Yeah.
I don't want the decal. I don't want the black decal on them. I don't want that. All Miami Blue, yellow brake calipers. That's 1. 2, a Lamborghini Aventador. What color would that be? Also probably like grabber blue. Ferrari, blacked out. That'll probably change. I probably won't want a Ferrari in the next 10 years. That'll probably go away.
Why do you think that?
Because I don't really care for them that much. It's just like a want as of recently.
All right.
What else do I want? Definitely like a couple Jeeps.
All right.
But I have a Jeep right now. I want a 4-door though. Mine's a 2-door. So I just want a 4-door Jeep. I don't even need a couple. I just want like a Jeep, a Porsche, and a Lambo. That'd be it. That'd be a dream. Ooh, hang on.
Wow. All right.
Probably a Range Rover. That'd be cool. But there's like this gray color. Looks clean. I want that. That's the color.
All right.
That's all for now.
All right. So health, diet, or fitness tips?
All right. I recommend doing a lot of biceps. I do a lot of biceps. I really like arms. I'm kind of unlike every other girl because every other girl focuses on legs and probably like butt workouts and squats and stuff. That's not for me. I like the arms. I think I have actually pretty nice arms, Dad, wouldn't you say?
Yeah.
They're pretty jacked. I'll say my tip is you got to do legs because I'm imbalanced. It's just not well. It's fine. I always used to say to my mom, she'd always make fun of me for this. She makes some really good dinners, but I always tell her I wanted like some spinach or something. I like spinach a lot, but I'd always say what did I used to say? You got to eat the greens to get the gains.
Yeah. And
looking back on it, I probably think that's the stupidest thing I've ever said, but it's true. So eat your greens, I guess. I don't really know.
So how do you like working out with me?
We talked about this. Did we talk about this? I mean, it's hard to say because we did 3 different takes, so I don't know which one made it in the final cut. I don't like it. I do like it, but I also don't. I thought working out with him would be really fun. I go through phases, and I think he does too when we have time of when we can actually work out. And we have like a bench set in the basement and then like the click weights, you know? And I was like, oh, cool. This will be so fun. Dad, let's get it. It was like the first week of quarantine. I was like, let's go. We're going to get huge. And that'll be it. We'll work out every day. I'm going to keep you committed. You're going to keep me committed. It's grind time, baby. We go downstairs. He's like, all right, let's do this workout, this workout, this workout, and this workout. Oh my gosh, it's a full body workout. Oh, this is great. And he's doing all these terrible things that I don't want to do. I want to do the arms. He's like, put the bar behind your head and do some presses.
Skull crushers.
Those were stupid. No one do those ever. My arms look good enough without that. I don't need those. So I didn't like it because it's not
about the look. It's about the functionality. What can you do?
It was like a hodgepodge of, it wasn't even like a full select workout. It's like, we're going to do one separate exercise for every single muscle group.
Well, you've got to always work opposing. So you can't just do biceps. You have to do bicep and tricep. You got to wear out both sides.
I understand.
You
but
got to
then
do back and chest. You can't just do one or the other. Otherwise, you're unbalanced. You just said you need to balance your work. I try to do that. You just don't like to do it.
Oh, did we do anything legs related?
Well, I don't like to do legs either.
See?
The way I see it is I'm 270 pounds, which means my body has to carry my 270-pound ass every day. My legs are already strong.
Okay, but here's my deal. He's hitting me with chest. Then he's like, let's do some back. Let's do some shoulders. Let's do some triceps. Let's do some biceps. By the time I got to the biceps, which is my strong point, I was winded from the triceps, back, shoulder. I don't know. That was terrible. Then he's like, let's get a deck of cards. No, man, I'm done. My time has come and gone. I have to go upstairs. That was terrible.
I bring this up because I've been waiting for the opportunity since you made fun of my volleyball form. This goes back to my football days.
But I'm still swole.
You are.
Listen, I'm huge.
For a girl.
For a girl. And I wouldn't want to be like huge. I think I'm nice and toned, but strong. I got it. I work it. Do whatever exercises you have to do for love handles. That's it. That's what I got. You got to get rid of those bad boys. Just in general, I'm saying.
Are you talking to me?
No, I'm saying in general, dude.
Are you calling me out right now?
No, I'm calling myself out. I'm really.
Well, I guess I'm touchy to it.
No, Dad, that wasn't even at you. No, I'm really skinny, but I got like a little bit of love handles or something, or my butt's not big enough. It doesn't shape right. It's not fun. Chris, we can cut that too.
So, all right. So, are there any exciting projects that we're working on that you think are going to separate us from the other people in the industry?
Well, I mean, I guess that would be the app, and the franchising is what will separate us and get that done. I mean, like, I don't think anyone else is making their own app to what they need and trying to get the franchise documents like set so that they can start franchising out and be as big as they want to be right now.
Yeah. All right.
I mean, I'd say that's about it.
Do you have any thoughts on legacy yet, or are you still too young to have any thought on that? Like what do you want people to think of, I guess, is a better question. As you grow this business with me and you grow in your leadership skills, what do you want people to look up to you for? What do you want to lead people in?
I mean, just like my motivation, I guess. Like, I want people to just like be like, oh, I want to be as motivated as she was from the start.
Yeah.
I mean, like, that's what I feel like I'd want people to look up for me for, or up to me for, and like just my dedication, I guess.
Yeah.
So you're dedicated.
I mean, here, I'll help you with this. I can tell you. Well,
I'll go for it. Hit me with it.
I can tell you that there's very few 19-year-old women, young women, that would be willing to tell 20-some to 40-some-year-old men what to do every day.
Let me say, that's kind of hard. Well, it's not hard. Actually, the easiest person I probably have, like, for Joey, he's the oldest, but I'd say easiest for me to like talk to him, obviously, because I mean, I respect him and want him to be successful with us. So it's easy. But like Ray and Kevin, who are like my stepbrothers, that's a little bit harder because if I make them mad, it's like, okay, like I'm very selfless, I'd say. Mm-hmm. I'm a people pleaser to a fault, probably. So I don't like to give them news that they won't like, because it's not like, okay, I made them mad, but I go home and I don't have to talk to them. So I guess when I have my own house, it'll be a lot easier for me. But it's like, okay, I made them mad, but now we go to the same house and then it's awkward. So, I mean, I can do it and people can look up to that, I guess, but sometimes it's a little tricky in some aspects. Yeah. I don't know.
So the point, the thing that I was trying to say is,
I know I want
you do things that most people your age would not want to do or couldn't do. And you are, something that's, I think, understated or underrated with what we're doing in our business right now is that not only are we innovating in automated outdoor solutions and finding those solutions for other professionals in our industry, but we are also unique in the fact that you're a woman in a male-dominated industry. And that's something that, as your dad, I'm so proud of. Is because, like, not to get sappy, but truthfully, is because I think that it's the fact that you don't think about it. See, this is the thing. It's the fact that I asked you the question and you didn't bring it up that makes you so strong. And I would say to other women that are going to listen to this podcast, and quite frankly, this is who we hope to attract to the podcast, right? We hope to attract people that, want to be more successful with automation, want to learn from what we're doing, and hopefully, follow in that track or that trend. And then also to be able to attract young women that can listen to Julia or listen to our relationship and be inspired by the fact that this doesn't have to be a male-dominated industry anymore. When I look at landscaping in general, most of the people that we get in our industry are men. But I often say, and I'm always looking for women that can put a woman's touch or perspective or point of view on a landscape design. A lot of times what I look for, and I tell this to my customers, is, I look for big trees, nice shrubs, things that are kind of easy to maintain. But I don't look at, the flowers or, certain things like that women are more attracted to, right? I mean, like, here's the thing. You brought up Versace. I don't care how I smell, but see what I'm saying? Like, different perspectives. And I will say that by us working together, I feel like we might be the most balanced business there could be, because we have a young woman's perspective and a middle-aged man's perspective.
Well, here's the thing. One of the questions, what was it? Obviously, I know the questions because I interviewed him. So, isn't it? You wrote it down. How I am going to go off your goals or something along another. I want to make our brand very modern and look cool, and he doesn't really care about that. But I feel like that's really important with the age that we're in, because obviously, like, even your logo is going to attract a lot of people, and how your trucks look driving around, they got to pop.
Yeah. So
his don't pop. But that's not. But that's what balances it out, because he sets the standards and, like, knows what you need in a business and what you have to do to be successful. And I'm like, okay, now you set all the guidelines, and now let me just, like, amp them up.
So here's the thing I try to say to her. I'm okay with all those things. Okay?
Yeah.
This, to me, as the middle-aged man, is a young person's perspective on importance. To you, what's important is
the look.
Show that logo.
Okay, here. Like, here, hold on. Let me show yours.
Like,
I'm covering it. Let me show oh gosh, Dad. Okay, look, this logo right here, Langton Group. First off, blue, phenomenal, great. It works. If you see the trucks, wow. I got the hoodies. I got 4 of them. I do have 4, but there was some extra than that. Anyways, this one, I think it can be better. I think it's a good start. It can be better. The thing I tell you is, I asked him, I said, yo, Dad, let me redo this logo. He told me no for the longest time, because we would have to trademark it again, and that costs the money. Okay, I get it. But what's your biggest goal with this company? What is it? Maybe we talked about it in the last one. I don't think we did, though.
So my biggest goal is actually to unite the industry, get us working together again instead of cutting each other's knees off. That's one of my biggest goals. And secondly is to be an industry leader.
Okay, that was neither of what I wanted. Chicago Bears.
Oh, yeah. It is a goal for me to who's interviewing who here right now?
Well, it's like a mix or something.
Okay, so I'm going to tell you a little bit about me. For a second,
you already had a full interview.
I know. I could have 3 interviews, I think. But a moment for me when I was younger, I used to work with my dad all the time, much like Julia. Except the difference is, I didn't get $2 an hour even to do it. We got told. I got told you can work with Dad for free, or you can do chores at the house. And I always picked work with Dad for free because I liked the windshield time, to be honest with you. Driving to the jobs was better than scrubbing the dishes. So anyways, I'll never forget the first Bears football game that I went to. There was the Kissatron at Soldier Field, and a competitor at the time to my dad was on the Kissatron. And I told myself, I'll know I have made it when I have the ability to sponsor something like that.
Exactly. Now, here's my question.
That's what she's saying. This
logo right here, you probably can't see it because probably most people are going to just listen to this on Apple or Spotify. That's how. So
if you can't see it, look up automatedoutdoor.com.
Okay.
Automatedoutdoor.com.
Dad, good plug. Check that out. Wow, he's a natural. See, now, if you see that logo, Dad, you know the logo. Would you want that on your sponsor for the Chicago Bears, playing on TV, hung up on banners?
Well, so here's the thing. If it was the whole background picture like that's on it with just out the logo, I don't know. The thing is, I think it's fine. This is where there's a difference in opinion.
Listen.
At the end of the day, hold on.
Yeah,
at the end of the day,
the
consumer wants a value.
Yeah.
Okay. They want people to stand behind a product. They want clean cut, good like well-spoken, articulated technicians. At the end of the day, the logo to me comes second to them. Now, I think that we trademark something that we liked at the time. If we want to change it, that's fine, but it's never good to change a brand image. So right now, we have 4 years of that branding. You look at Husqvarna. When you look at the Husqvarna brand image, which is actually right behind us if you're watching on YouTube, that Husqvarna used to make shotguns. So that is the site of a shotgun. So the Husqvarna brand that most people think is a crown is actually the tip of a shotgun. So, or the sights of a shotgun. So that being said, Miss Brander over here.
Listen, I see where you're coming from.
At the end of the day, that's Husqvarna's logo. Nobody really cares if it pops.
But that's clean. Let me bring up a scenario. Dad, you made some business cards back in the day.
Yes, Julia made a much better business card.
Now, here's the deal, though.
And I didn't actually make that business card, though. Somebody designed that business card, and I just approved it.
Okay.
Just so we're clear.
Now, that's fine. Now, you at the time thought that business card was fine, totally good. Then I made the business card that had my image, and you were like, this is much better. I heard you say to someone else on the phone.
Yeah,
I can't believe that I was giving this one out. Now, that's because I think if I were to recreate this logo, amp it up a little bit, make it a little bit more modern, you'd be like, oh, that's way better because you don't know the potential that the logo has. I think it could be really cool. I think what we got is popping.
So instead of us talking about it, you make me a better one, and then I'll tell you if we're going to re-trademark it.
Well, I know, but I got to learn how to graphic design. Right now, you always
talk about this, but I still see no logo.
I have no time, dog.
I know, you're always talking about my design, but
That's because you just approved it.
I don't see one better from you yet.
Hey, this is my interview.
Okay.
So listen, I'm going to have it.
Now let's talk about back to the podcast.
All right, let's go.
So something that came up since our first interview was what we're going to do with our guests is, and this was Julia's idea. This is our collaboration, really. We're trying to figure out how to make the podcast cooler and, in Julia's words, fresher than other podcasts. So we're going to ask all of our guests that are on the show to pick a song that they like, that they think represents them in the moment, in the time, because this always changes. So right now, for me, like my first podcast, I'm going to play, or you would have already heard if you heard the first episode, The Man by the Killers.
Terrible.
And she doesn't like it, but I like it. When I drive, I think I hear that song and it makes me smile. So that's it. That's what it comes down to. So we're going to do that. So our podcast is going to have a beginning song and an ending song. And this was really us working together. So right now you're seeing a lot of bickering and probably seems like gibberish on your end, but good things do come from this dynamic. And that's the point. So other than that.
So basically what he's saying is he's going to pick his songs to represent him for his podcast. I'm going to pick mine. Mine will be better to some people. Well, probably not a lot of people. They'll be cool though. Basically, you said you were going to pick a song, but we're each going to have our song.
No, everybody gets to pick their front song, and then we're going to do a playlist for automating success for every guest. There'll be a guest playlist. So the first song, there'll be a playlist. Then to close out the podcast. After Julia and I hear the interview, we are going to take a song off our playlist that we call the Joe and Julia playlist when we're driving around doing auto mower resets.
No, Dad, it's got to be something way better than that. That wasn't original at all.
You can come.
I'll think about that. See, anyways, this is the youngness.
This is what we're going to do. And we actually get along much better than we seem to be getting along
if anyone was watching, they'd see it's all smiles. This is like our...
Yeah, but I do think I brought it on myself because I asked for the Julia with her friends and not the dad around or Julia around dad scenario. So once we hit end on this, we're going to go back to the Julia.
No, you know what scenario. It is, though, too, is I was procrastinating.
She's been a little bit more combative than I thought she was.
I was procrastinating this so much because I don't really like to talk about myself that much. But now you got it flowing, and now I just can't stop, apparently.
I know. I'm actually wondering if we went over the hour.
I mean, Chris, you can edit out all the bad stuff out. It's fine.
So, all right. Well, with that, what do you think? You think that's a wrap?
That being said, whose interview was better? Mine might be. Depends who's listening, what age group.
We don't want to disappoint her. So even if mine was better, and if you went on Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook, say Julia's was better.
Thank you. I appreciate it, guys.
And I want to boost her confidence.
Dad, I love you too, but I still want my podcast to win.
All right. That's it.
All right. Is that it?
That's it.
We're
That's
done.
a wrap.